Welcome back to SV Basic. Well, this weather is amazing. We've had a few days in a row now, and we're taking advantage of it. That means we get to continue with our mainsail project. Last week was pretty exciting. We actually busted out our mainsail out of storage, laid it out, and inspected it. The condition was much better than we hoped for, but there was a downside. After doing all our measurements and calculations, that mainsail is terribly undersized for this rig. Probably about 30% undersized. So a mainsail will definitely be in our future. But for now, we could fly it and use it, but it won't be the perfect sail for this boat. We also had a chance to go to the top of the mast and start working on all the lines and leads that are associated with our mainsail. The next thing we're going to do is this project here, and that's our boom. This boom, we've been weighing back and forth what to do with it. Do we keep the old boom and rebuild? Do we source out a used boom? Do we buy a new? And looking at those three options, well, this boom is 27 years old, and the hardware and everything associated with it is showing its age. To rebuild this boom will take quite a bit of effort. And is it more effort than it would be to do the other two options? Well, we're starting to think so. Looking at some of the blocks and the clutches and the winches, all the hardware associated with the outhaul, everything needs to be replaced and updated. And is that going to surpass the price of a used boom? Probably. But if we go with a used boom, how much modification do we have to do to make that work? And that's something that is intimidating to think about. If we find a used boom across the country, ship it in here, what is the condition? Are we upgrading? Are we spending more money to modify it to make it work for this boat? Those are all unknowns. So we're still looking at buying a new boom. Buying a new boom it's a lot to swallow. It's a big expense, but at least we need to look into that. This boat, it's a big investment for us. And to get the right boom on here is going to be important. We want to make sure that it's safe and performs correctly. So we are looking at new booms. We have contacted spar manufacturers, and we'll see what that expense may be. If it fits in our budget, we will jump on it. If it doesn't, it's hard to say what we're going to do at this point because I want to see those numbers first. But for now, there's plenty of things we could do. We could still be working on our gooseneck, our topping lift, our lazy jack, the traveler and main sheet. All these things need to be upgraded, and those will be items that we need to do on SV Basic regardless if we have this old boom, a used boom, or a new boom. But before we get started on that, I have a little project I got to jump on. Our cockpit door failed on us the other day, and I want to get that fixed. So let's get to work. Okay, about 7 years ago, we installed our diamond sea glaze door, and it was quite the process. The original door on SV Basic was just this, it was a 4-foot wide plexiglass door with the knocks cut out in the corner. It was hideous, and we knew we had to upgrade. So I did quite a bit of fill in to get this bulkhead nice and flat and strong, a lot of glass work to accept this new door. And this door has performed perfectly for us for the past 7 years until just the other day we had a little problem. Here's where the problem lies. This is a Trio Ving handset, and it feels quality. This is heavy duty, all stainless. We're 7 years into this, and it feels brand new still, with the exception of where it failed. And here's what failed. Look at this. The return mechanism broke inside of here. So let's get this apart and I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. But getting this apart is a puzzle. This was a bit tricky, trying to figure out how to disassemble this in the door. Turns out the key to disassembling this whole thing lies in these two holes right here. There's two set screws that are buried about 1.5 inches in there. Once you back those out, you're able to take your lock sets off. Once the lock is off, you're able to loosen your hand sets. Once those are off, you can pull it apart. You know, it really bugs me having something this high quality and just ordering a new piece rather than try to fix it. I mean, obviously this is an expensive item here, probably a couple $100. I mean, it certainly feels like it. So it's just going to take a little bit of effort to get inside this and see what failed. And let's open it up, see what it is. There it is right there. This is there's a spring here that is broken off. It's that easy. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I knew this was a problem 3 days ago. So I took this handset apart and I found the broken item. I called Diamond Sea Glaze. They sent me to their parts department, and within 1 minute he had a schematic emailed to me and I was able to identify the broken part. And for $4 they shipped me a new part. Here it is right here. Took 2 days to get here, and I'll be able to fix this entire handset for $4. Their customer service was amazing. I'm happy with it. They were knowledgeable, and it looks like they sent the right part. So it's just a matter of reassembling this and our door will be functional again. Let's see if it goes in smooth. Well, that was a pretty easy fix so far. Now it's just a matter of putting this all back together, making sure everything lines up, and reinstalling it in the door. And for the last little detail, the little trim ring for the key. Feels pretty good. I like that. Easy project, didn't cost much, and the result, well, it works. Lynn's been sewing inside all morning. I hear that sewing machine humming along in there. Let's go check out what she's up to.
I have been so productive today, you guys. I feel like I am on fire. I've been sewing all morning while Teal's outside, and I have to say I'm feeling more and more confident with every item that I make for the boat. A couple weeks ago, you guys saw that I made some covers outside, and I didn't make a cover for the propane locker, so I made one that matched the generator locker. And since I was working on that anyways, I made a cover for the generator. We don't plan on using that often, so might as well make sure that it is well protected from any ocean spray or anything, because it is in a wet locker. So I made that earlier here, and I'm gonna test fit it, but wanted to have another project so that when I go outside I have another one to do. So this one here is a sail bag. And if this fits, I am going to be officially, you guys can call me the bag lady. I don't care, because I love bags. I love having something that holds any miscellaneous item so we know exactly where to grab it. And this one will go underneath the helm seat, and it'll probably hold like our sail gloves or binoculars or just anything that's kind of just randomly out there. And you know, a lot of people have asked me how I like my sewing machine, and to be perfectly honest, I do like it. I like it for most items and most projects, but I'm seeing now that if I do continue making more canvas projects outside, I'm gonna have to upgrade to a Sailrite, because this one does well, but I see that it's already struggling with 4 layers, so I can't imagine what's gonna happen when I have to reinforce things with leather and heavier items, because it is gonna happen, especially with the stack pack. So for now, I'm going to do as many projects as I can with this and before we upgrade. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go outside and check things out and see how it fits. Perfect. For this bag, I made this specific to go underneath our helm seat, and it should go right here. I think it looks pretty good. I did put the Fight Protects on the bottom, so then if it's wet, it will drain out and be able to dry, so there's no sitting water in there. So my job is done. Now the ball's in Teal's court. He is in charge of the hardware or straps. I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm sure he'll do something great. We have had a productive morning, I have to say, because between school and projects and videos, we've just been on the go. Even though we are quarantined here, I just feel like we don't really have a break because there's always something to do. So I think this afternoon we're going to go on a little excursion and have a little picnic. And what is a picnic without some margaritas? So earlier today I made lemon bars, because that's one of Emma's favorites, and I also made some guacamole. So I'm gonna go with the theme with lemon and lime and make us some yummy drinks to go on our picnic. These might be a little heavy-handed because it's been that kind of morning. Maybe a little bit more. I really like these silicone ice cubes. They're super pliable. They make some good size ice cubes, and I use them for everything. I can use them to obviously make ice cubes, but also I like to squeeze if my limes or my lemons are getting to the end of its life. I won't waste any of it, and I will squeeze them into these so that I can use them later on. And I also take the rind and zest them, so then for later on I can put those in for cooking and for drinks, obviously. Just a touch more.
I cannot wait. It's been so long since we've been on an excursion. it's like the best self-quarantine picnic spot. I mean, it's right by the water. We have a nice view of the bridge, and I don't think anyone's ever been here. Like, I can't see anybody right now.
Double dipped a chip.
Oop.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of Onboard Lifestyle. It felt so good to take a break from everything and go on our little quarantine picnic. I think we should do that more often. Anyways, guys, if you liked this episode, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Big thanks to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Come back next week to see what we do with our boom. See you then!